Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You are watching on your TVs in Texas and Louisiana, as well as on, I'm sorry, just checking out my things here. Okay. As well as on X, YouTube, LinkedIn, I'm still a little scared of, but we'll be back on there. I am posting I'll post the link. Facebook, and all the rest. Make sure to follow us Instagram. Make sure to follow us over there. Instagram, I'm modeling agent. I used to staff models. So it was a lot of fun. I still do. We have some contracts, as well as networks manager on Facebook. And we're also broadcasting on Rumble. We just started that page. I am having trouble getting the stream to stream onto the page I created. So it's just going on to my networks manager page, but it's just Impact Money Show. So make sure to watch us over there on Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. I like the Rumble. It does get good views. And of course, Crypto Cake YouTube, we're on there as well. Make sure to check us out over on YouTube. You can comment. I do see most of the comments here on my screen. If you're watching on Instagram, I have to toggle over there and check out the comments, but I see, of course, we do always get some people coming in on Instagram. Anytime you use something live and it's authentic, you get people. Obviously, our biggest distribution is on TV as well as X, because I am a big X guy. So big market moves today by my friends. I have to start off with this. By my friends at Polka Gold for the win, and Dalgo Nation, Dalgo guys. So they started this meme coin, Dalgo, and it's like I've been saying. Basically, the meme coin is like the meme coin Dalgo is basically like it's like their marketing campaign. Okay, you got this fun meme coin Dalgo, and everybody can go and get some Dalgo. It's a very small market cap right now. It has as much liquidity as it has market cap. Yeah. So like, guys, I was like actually thinking about it this morning before I even looked at the markets. I just need to tell everybody, like, look, guys, this thing has one way to go. All right, like, that's it. If you think the overall market is going up, this thing is going to explode. It's the Polka Gold has Algorand, started by Algorand and Polkadot Whales, and it has the liquidity locked in there, like locked when they started. And then they did the same thing. They learned from what they did, and they did the same thing for the launch of their meme coin, Dalgo. And the Polka Gold it'll be up at 1 million here in no time. Again, back at 1 million. And the Dalgo is going to be there too. So really fun coin. The charts are fun to share too. So I'm just going to go ahead and share them real quick. Because I mean, when you wake up in the morning and something that you're long on is up 30%, that is always a good day, right? I mean, that's a great day. Look at this. Look at this beautiful thing right here. This beautiful chart. I've been talking about Dalgo and the Polka Gold now for quite a while. It's not too late, guys. Okay, it's still very early. This could go to $1 billion market cap or more, even. Okay, this is not financial advice. Okay, but you see 27% up this morning. Man, I was a happy guy, a really happy guy. I still am. I'm going to have some of the team on later today. We did an hour-long thing with them, or 45 minutes before. We're going to do that again because I want to talk to everybody. Look, guys, I want you to have a way in and I want you to have a way out, okay? And when I see something like this, where they've structured it like this, where you have this locked liquidity, that is remarkable, guys. It's remarkable, okay? And since it's anchored by Algorand, if you think the Algorand's going to go up, and I do, okay, Algorand, nice 5% move yesterday. I was leveraged on it. I'm up a lot. I'm a really happy guy. And that was a great move, and it's holding those gains. It's holding the gains. Algorand is holding those gains, looking very good. Algorand is the ecosystem that it is built on, and so that's pretty nice. But you see here as well, Polka Gold up over 10%, 11% here, just looking very beautiful here. Fully diluted valuation right now is only 881. Okay, so we're talking about 900,000 or so fully diluted valuation. And yeah, guys, yeah, this thing to me, not financial advice, all this stuff, this goes to 10 million so easily. It's over 10x from here. Okay, it should go way over. Should go way over 10 million. Here's the thing, Algorand should at least 3x. At least 3x from here. Not financial advice. These are highly speculative assets. You should also own gold and silver. Real gold and silver. Okay. Go over to, if you're on Twitter, you can just go to @costmetal, @costmetal, and follow the link. We're clubs. @costmetals.com. Use referral link clubs. Buy gold, palladium, platinum. Gold, silver, palladium, platinum at cost. Get it at cost. I've been so excited here. I haven't invited my friend Matt on. Let me just send this link over here to the great Matt Dixon. Matt Dixon will join us in a couple minutes here. I'm just so carried away with everything. My gains this morning. Matt, you know, he's good, guys. He's good. And I have a meeting with some of my friends. I guess I won't say who they are right yet. But these guys, I have a meeting with some guys, and they are going to build this website for us. So I'm super excited about that as well. We're setting up a membership website so that you guys can participate as well. Okay, so that you guys can participate as well. Now, remember, another one I had on the show the other day was rum. Where's the rum? I'm just looking at this chart here. All right, let me get this over to my man Matt Dixon, the great Matt Dixon. Boom, boom, boom. So, yeah, I mean, everything looks poised to run. You know, it's funny. I made some trades early over the weekend, coming into the week, and then talking to Matt yesterday is, you know, this and that, and the market did exactly what I wanted to do. It pulled back. I was pretty excited, guy. Pulled back. I was able to lock in some of those profits, which I had already locked in, but enter lower than I sold, which is always nice, and get back in. I am long on a lot of these ones. I'm long on Ton coin to the moon. I think this thing is gonna just go and go and go. It's gonna go. And you have the dog or flower. I'm long on dog or flower. I got a ton of that stuff. Dog or flower. Dollar or it trades at. Fun meme coin. This thing, it's like the whiff of Ton. Man, WIF, dog whiff hat. It's got like over billions of dollar market cap. I mean, it captured the hearts and minds of the community over there. So dog whiff hat has that. But Ton built by the Telegram guys. This community, imagine having Telegram as your community. Telegram as your community. Imagine. I can't buy enough of the stuff, to be honest with you. I am long Ton. Buying every dip. I'm mortgaging the house to buy. No, I'm not. My wife would kill me. No, I'm kidding. I really don't like the banks. So I'm not a big bank guy. Long Bitcoin, short the bankers. What's his face had it right? Screw the bankers. I am not a big bankers guy. Of course, the bankers are what is taking over this country. It's taken over this country in the U.S., most of the countries of the world. They did it slowly and silently. Dalco Nation, yeah, bro. Don, great Don Baruda. We're gonna have him on, I think, later today. They're telling me the afternoon though. The afternoons are rough for me. I might be drunk by 4 o'clock, guys. I don't know. I'm kidding. I am kidding, actually. Back in my younger days. Let's see here. Okay. The gold, new all-time highs, of course. Fed minutes in focus. Jackson Hole, Wyoming. All the suits are there. Get me on now, Don says. Get me on now. If you do want to come on, I can't do now, but we can do in like 40 minutes or so. Let me know if that works. I'll shoot you over a link. Come on, let's talk about it. It's a great morning. It's a great morning. I see my main man, Matt Dixon, has fired up here. Just real quick before I go into that. So that's, and we'll talk more about the Fed minutes with Matt. Free abortions and vasectomies at the Democrat National Convention as protests rage outside the fortified walls. I mean, do they think that is a winning message? I mean, let's have death and destruction. I mean, not the destruction, that they're obviously the things they're protesting, whatever. But I mean, vasectomies and abortions. I mean, really, guys, that doesn't seem like a winning message to me. That's not a winning message. And then, of course, as we go right into Matt Dixon, Matt, you guys, Sir Matt, you're great. You guys are launched on CoinStore. Congratulations, EVAI token.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you. I thought you'd
How
give me
are
10 minutes to just enjoy my coffee.
Nice, man. Yeah, it must be nice to be over there at 11 a.m. or 10 a.m., whatever it is.
Yeah. The weather's beautiful. It's actually 12:30 in the afternoon now, or just after around lunchtime. Yeah. But yeah, amazing place. Went around some of the museums yesterday. Very interesting background. Obviously, it was communist, totalitarian state not many years ago, but it's opened up and it's really, really nice now.
Well, that is really interesting. You know, I was telling my wife that you were there, and you know, obviously we love traveling. Well, one of the most fun things I did was she always wanted to skate, and then I had skated around the world, and she said she wanted to, and I said, all right, well, let's do it. And we went around, we traveled around skating, and that was one of our first the first time I ever took her around the world anyway with me. And it was just one, you know, all those little places around the world in Europe, you know, little beautiful places, and Asia and everything else. It was fun. Traveling's fun. Albania, though, that's so cool. So tell me a little bit about the show. I mean, you're on TV there. What are they doing? The great Matt Dixon, you know, movie star over in Albania.
I'm not sure. I'll let you know. It's tomorrow, 11 o'clock tomorrow. So I'll let you know. But they're very, very, you know, new to crypto in Albania. You know, as I said, it was actually very, very controlled over here. And actually, there was a big scam a number of years ago. Nothing actually really to do with crypto, but it's a big Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme of some sort. So really, what we're trying to do is just educate people about effectively how safe crypto is. I mean, I wanted to run through a few things today. I know most of your community and listeners are, you know, experienced and, you know, mature investors and know a lot. There's still a lot of people out there.
We have a lot. We have a lot of both. We have a lot of both. There's actually a lot of people that watch the show and have been waiting in the sidelines, and they haven't bought yet.
Yeah. So there's, you know, I think it's important, and I you know, hoping we could discuss a little bit today. We'll do a very quick market roundup, but I think that it's important for people to understand exactly why Bitcoin came into existence, secure, you know, can you actually invest in it safely? Now, was I frozen or was that just you?
It was you too. You kind of, we were still able to get out the words, but it was choppy.
Yeah, sorry about that. Again, I think we've got maybe some issues. Albania is not perfect.
Yeah, you know, none of us are.
Yeah.
I think probably just since you know it happens. I mean, I probably don't have to tell you, but when you load a page or something, just give it a minute and then and then taught.
Yeah. So, as I say, I was hoping we could discuss a little bit about the background for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. I think it'll be informative for viewers, and I think there's a lot of questions still unanswered about what actually is Bitcoin, what is real money, what when I say real money, what's fiat money? I mean, what is fiat money?
What is it? What is this fake stuff that we use?
Well, it's paper without any backing whatsoever. It's not backed by gold, and it's not backed by anything. It's just paper money. So it is paper and it's electronic. And so they can create money, as you know, just by creating a few more zeros and ones on the computers, and they can bring money into existence out of thin air.
Wow.
We're still struggling, aren't we? It does sound very much like a scam, yeah. And that is the traditional financial system. And many would label it as a scam. And this is why Bitcoin came into existence, of course, in 2009, at the very height of the financial crisis. So that was the reason it came into existence.
In the Genesis block, it talks about the bailout of the banks again.
Absolutely.
And that's what got us involved in.
I don't know if you'd like to play something for just a moment. I think I will move my computer to somewhere, hopefully, where reception is better, because this isn't good, is it?
It's working so far. It's not perfect, but it is working.
Okay, I can continue or I can move, whichever. But basically, I wanted a free discussion with you about, this tradition. Its days have to be numbered, surely. I don't know what your thinking is, but the fact is they have been printing infinite amounts of money to support the economy, to support the national debt. And as I think you've said, the actual interest payments on that debt are absolutely phenomenal. And so this is why. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I guess if you want to find it, I don't know. I think let's just roll with it.
Okay. So this is why Bitcoin came into existence. So Bitcoin is decentralized money, and we're getting away from the centralization of money. And centralization, it's actually, as you say, if you were to do this, anybody else were to do this, even if some countries were to do this, which, it's effectively a scam, but it's like a conspiracy because all the countries are now doing it, just creating money out of thin air.
Everyone's doing it.
There's no backing. But it's quite interesting. You've got some countries now. You mentioned one yesterday. Was it Taiwan you mentioned?
Yeah. They say Taiwan came out and they said, look, we have enough gold in our reserves to back all the currency that's out there. And of course, BRICS is gold-backed currency. It's not really out yet, I guess, right? Or no one's trading it yet, but
yes. But this is what's coming, because it's become basically a lack of confidence in the way they've been creating this money out of thin air, and so people are calling more and more for something which has, which you can't just create infinitely. And this is why Bitcoin is so important. It's such an important development for people because, we have said 21 million. That's the most there'll ever be. It's so important, and it means it holds its value, and that's why we showed that. The other day about the value of a house. 8 years ago, it would have cost you 664 Bitcoin to buy a house. And the value of the house in dollar terms has actually gone up. So it's gone from about 200 and something to 300 and something. It's gone up about 50% in dollar terms. So in other words, houses have kept their value. The dollar has devalued by 50% in the last 8 years, if you measure it in terms of houses. Whereas Bitcoin, what cost 600 Bitcoin is now just 6 Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has appreciated massively. So Bitcoin you can really call the hard currency, the real master of currency, because it's a real hard currency. And it's appreciated even more than gold. We've seen great appreciation on gold, haven't we, recently?
Yeah, beautiful thing. Well, and I guess the thing I really like, I would, and I'm sure you can continue, but one thing I'd like to cover on this as well is how does this pay for fiat money stack up against money of history as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's some advantages. I'm just jumping in to share my screen so we can talk about a few things. But it is important to look historically. Obviously, we used to have the gold standard, and then money was backed by gold, and that was removed, wasn't it? I mean, you're a master of that.
Yep. Yeah, they removed the gold standard. It was really so everybody thinks that we always had the gold standard. We didn't. Actually, Abraham Lincoln took us off the gold standard. No one likes to hear that. I get unpopular when I talk about it, but Abraham Lincoln took us off the gold standard. He was the original fiat money guy, and he was doing fiat money. He could print as much as he wanted to. And then in 1900, they legislated putting us on the gold standard. But that really only lasted it lasted less than 2 decades. The Federal Reserve started in 1913, and everybody thinks, oh, well, we got off the gold standard way later. But they were printing, 10 to 1 early on, kind of as they wanted. And then by 1933, the whole thing was pretty cooked. They confiscated everyone's gold, and yeah, it's crazy history.
Yeah, and that's the big concern, that people think that gold is a store of value, of course, but people think it's absolutely safe. But it's actually, we have historical records now that show that the government can actually basically take your gold, can effectively just possess it, and there's nothing you can do about it. Very little you can do about it. And that's why something that's totally decentralized, and you don't have to store it in a vault, and you can transfer it easily around the world. That's why Bitcoin has really become so popular and has taken off. And now institutions are getting involved. But it's not just Bitcoin, of course. There are so many valuable cryptocurrencies now. It's a really valuable technology. So thinking of some of the use cases for cryptocurrency and for Bitcoin, one of the things, I'm sure most people have been involved in property transactions, buying a property. And if in America, if it's anything like UK, you'll find it's a very cumbersome, lengthy process.
Oh, yeah. And you pay it through the nose. I was actually talking about the mortgage. You end up paying like over double for your house. People don't think about it, I guess.
And in fact, in Albania, there's still issues with property ownership, where basically number of people register ownership for a property, and there are battles over who actually owns the property.
Wow.
And because it's just paper records, it's and there's a lot of, there is still corruption going on. There's corruption all over the world, of course, but there's a big issue over here. And I said, what they need to sort this out is actually put all the property on the blockchain. And the blockchain can be verified independently, because, of course, the blockchain is a ledger. It's an open ledger that anybody can see the records. And it's a perfect way to actually do away with all the corruption and to of the ownership of property. And it would mean that property transactions could happen almost instantaneously, instead of, for example, in the UK, it can take a couple of months sometimes for the lawyers to do all their stuff and charge all their money. But in fact, if this was all done and handled on the blockchain, it could be done almost instantaneously, very, very cheaply. But obviously, there's a lot of resistance to that, because people like the current system because they earn lots of money out of it. But surely there's more efficient ways to do it.
Yeah, that's people love the paper money. They do. It's actually, I even like the paper money. I just don't like the way they can tax it all the time. It loses its value so fast, and I can hold another asset and I can gain so fast or lose too. But I don't like the way that it's a tax instrument. It's a debt instrument. But as it goes, you can take those paper dollars, you can spend them on stuff. They don't need to know where you spent it. There's no record of it. Cash is cool.
Yeah. I'm just going back to what I know is one of Bruce's favorite representations here, which actually really shows the purchasing power of Bitcoin. And this is what I was just talking about, the 600 Bitcoin, and to buy a house just 8 years ago, and now it's 6 Bitcoin. but in dollar terms, it costs an awful lot more. 288,000 today. The median house 434,000. So it just shows the massive depreciation of the dollar. Now, what we're facing is with the economies, of course. I'm talking specifically about the U.S. economy. We do still have problems with inflation, and how are they going to deal with it? The fact is they've got high interest rates already, and they've got a massive debt burden. If they were to increase interest rates further to try to reduce inflation, then it's going to be more interest payments on the debt. So they really are in a catch-22 situation. It's very, very difficult, and it's why some countries are now moving over more and more to Bitcoin, and certainly individuals and even institutions are now moving more and more to Bitcoin because it's seen as the safe option to protect the value of your money.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. 664 Bitcoin, 6 Bitcoin buys a house. It is mind-boggling that 6 Bitcoin buys a house.
Yeah, it is. And if we're to go to, there's many have said that Bitcoin's going to $1 million. Who knows? But if it does, then maybe you'll be able to buy a couple of houses for 1 Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And yeah, in dollar terms, that means basically the value of your money is halved yet again. If we go to that level, the value. So it's a situation, and as I say, we're moving into this new technology now, and it's not just Bitcoin. There's lots of cryptocurrencies. There's about 2,000. Well, I think there's more than 2,000. But I think there's a couple of thousand reasonably legitimate cryptocurrencies. Certainly 1,000 at least. So what we've done at EVAI, and I'll just talk a little bit about EVAI here. We recognize that people don't understand the value of particular cryptocurrencies, which ones are valuable, which ones aren't, which ones maybe they should be investing in. And so we at EVAI decided to build a system, a decentralized system. So it doesn't have human bias. It's not what we say is best. It's actually a decentralized system that uses technology and artificial intelligence technology to evaluate the true value of cryptocurrencies. And we're using this system now to empower people to make better trading decisions. Now, this is the token that we've listed today, EVAI. There's lots of exciting news coming out. The listing
now,
was just...
If you've switched your screen, we're still on the Bitcoin purchasing power, just to let you know.
Well, I love that screen so much.
Okay, I like that screen too. I just wanted to let you know.
Yeah. I won't go on to EVAI yet. I'm hoping we can do...
I didn't mean to stop you from going on to EVAI. I think EVAI is super exciting. And as well, we've been trading with these signals for so long. I even when we were working together before, I made so much money trading these signals. And the fact that there's a utility token, that EVAI has their utility token, and you have somebody like Matt as the head of the company, doing the show every day and on TV and doing super spaces and everything else. This is, look at the team behind it as well as the longevity. You've been at this for a while too. It says a lot.
Yeah, I think it's all tied together as well with, as I say, I think there's a bright future. Certainly what we can see here, there's certainly higher prices to come in the near future for cryptocurrencies. Yeah. I'll just jump back again to, for example, Solana here. We've been saying for some time, last few days, there may be a little bit further downturn to come before we get that big pump to the upside. Yeah, that's actually materializing today as we speak. A little bit of a downturn here in Solana. Same happening with Bitcoin, Ethereum across the board. A little bit of a downturn or a flat day at best. But I think we're heading towards some good upside. But then the dilemma will be, which cryptocurrencies should you be investing in? And that's where EVAI comes in. Now, the fact that we've listed today, we are going to, we're engaging some heavyweight marketing people this time. So this is...
All right, so you broke up a little bit there. You've talked to some heavyweight marketing people.
Yeah, so we've got some heavyweight marketing coming in within about a week. We actually just signed a contract. Today actually was the final sign off for the contract. So we've got some heavy marketing coming in. So I think EVAI does have a future. I think it is an absolute necessity for the market because people need educating on which cryptocurrencies have value, which don't have value, when is a good opportunity to potentially buy. Obviously, you'll combine this with your own due diligence, but I think eBay is an absolute must, a necessity for people. Traditional finance has ratings agencies to tell you about the underlying value of government debt and corporate debt and so on. And it's only right that digital assets should have some sort of financial rating. They can't be rated in the same way as traditional assets. They're a very different instrument, but it's very, very important that we have a credible rating system, and that's what eBay is all about. So we've listed today on CoinStore. We're going to go out on the Solana dexes, which are Radium and Jupiter. So we're going to go out on those dexes within the next few days, but we're going to combine it with some heavy marketing. So I believe that the eBay token has a bright future ahead of it, and now is an opportunity to get involved through CoinStore. As I say, once the marketing hits and kicks off, then I think there'll be a lot more interest. And the likes of the TV show, I'm going to be joining tomorrow as well. So we will be, this is, watch this space, I would say, because I think there's a very bright future ahead for eBay. So we will be telling you more about that, more about exactly how to get involved through the Solana dexes, for example, and how to get involved.
The Solana ecosystem. I mean, it's just, I look at assets that are on other ecosystems, and if they were on Solana, they would be valued a lot more. You know what I mean? It's just, there's so much liquidity on Solana. There's so many users. It's a great place to launch.
Yeah, absolutely. And we haven't even started yet. We wanted just to get the token available to people. And as I say, we'll start the marketing over the next week or so with a big marketing agency, but we're also going to be reaching out through influencers, through your viewers here, through everybody really, just to show people the opportunity available. So I look forward to telling you more about that. And as I say, we are available now on CoinStore for any early birds who want to get in there. But there will be a lot more opportunity in future. I'll just close today with a quick whip around the market, if that's okay, because I think it is important just to see exactly where we are.
Absolutely. I'm watching my my Ton coin back up 670 here. Nice dip. I played that Ton up and down like a
beautifully
pro.
Yeah. We'll have a look at Ton. I mean, at the moment, I think Bitcoin is still showing the way, and I think even with Bitcoin, we can see we are in a consolidation. This wave 2 may consolidate further, but this is very, very typical of a corrective wave. That you can see it's virtually sideways. So the wave 1, you can see we moved from down here to up here. That's an impulsive wave. It's actually made up of 5 waves itself. But this, when you're in a corrective wave, which is wave 2, wave 4, or wave B, a corrective wave is very much sideways. And you can see the prices move pretty well sideways, not going anywhere. If you're really short-term trader, then yes, these moves are meaningful. But for a little bit longer term, if you're, can trade over a matter of days, then it's just a matter of a bit of patience. If you hang on to your trades.
Yeah, exactly. Patience is so important in trading. It's so important. If you don't have a good trade, don't get in it.
Yeah. And I think it's probably one of the most important attributes. I mean, we talk about fear and greed, and those are, can be problematic. But the most important thing is understand your risk and your reward. And then you need patience, because things don't happen. They rarely happen in the time frame that you want them to. Quite interestingly, Elliott Wave is actually, it tells you about prices and the likelihood of prices reaching particular levels when you link them to Fibonacci extensions and retracements, but it tells you nothing about the time scale of those moves. And so whilst Elliott Wave is telling me we're going to move substantially higher once we've completed this corrective wave, it doesn't tell me how long it's going to take to complete the corrective wave.
Exactly.
And this is where patience comes in. So you just have to sometimes sit on trades. I'm confident that we're going to see some good upside, but I'm sat on trades right now. I'm actually, for example, on Solana, as an example, I'm slightly in loss. I got in at 142, so I'm close to break even, but I'm quite happy to hang on to that. And if it does dip lower, I'll actually add more to it and use that dollar cost average system to add more to it. As you say, Toncoin has been a powerful mover. We did say we're expecting a bit of a correction. We may still have further correction to come, but I think Toncoin, as can be seen by this massive arrow I've got drawn in here, and I just have to shrink it so we can see that. Absolutely massive arrow there, indicating that we do expect substantially more upside to come, even if we get a bit more downside. So once again, patience is the order of the day for Toncoin. But as Bruce says, an excellent ecosystem, along with Solana, excellent ecosystem, upgrades coming September. Yeah. And many others out there. There's actually Solana's just jumped up and put me back into profit, which is nice.
There you go. It's always good to see the green.
Yeah, very nice. So I got in 142. It's 142.11 now. But again, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If price does dip lower, I've reserved something so I can jump in again with some more, and hopefully look for some upside there. So I think it's just worth having a little look as well at BNB. The reason I love BNB is actually we use the very same system at EVAI to distribute profits to token holders. So we use a buy and burn system. So we do sell subscriptions to the EVAI products, the EVAI ratings products. All of the EVAI ratings themselves are actually free of charge. Anybody can access them for free, but there are some high-level subscription products using portfolio building tools, which people pay for, and we actually distribute that by using some of that revenue to buy and burn our own token. And this is a way of distributing profits. It's exactly what Binance do. And one of the reasons Binance has been so successful is this is a very fair way of distributing profits to their token holders. So we replicated that within EVAI. So again, that's another reason that that's the utility, I guess, behind EVAI. The utility is, of course, that it has a use. It does actually do ratings, but then the benefit of those ratings and the revenue from those ratings is cycled back to token holders through the buy and burn. And we've actually burnt, believe it or not, there was originally 1 billion tokens in existence on EVAI. We've already burnt 200 million of those tokens. So we've burnt 1/5 of the total supply. And that should continue and continue. And so exactly opposite to the traditional fiat system where they print more and more and more money, with EVAI, we're actually reducing the supply down and down and down. So it means as it does get smaller and the token supply gets smaller, then those people who are holding, there's basically the same amount of money spread between fewer holders effectively. So it should mean theoretically that the value of EVAI should appreciate as more and more tokens are burnt. So that is such a good way of distributing profits. And eventually it will have an impact. And it's just a matter of marketing and getting the word out there and getting more and more users. So CoinStore have 7 million users, and we're going to be offering the ratings for free to all the CoinStore users.
You're doing what for free for CoinStore users?
We're offering the basic ratings are free to all the 7 million CoinStore users.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, and we're also going to be offering through another big community which has, I think, 3 million active crypto users. So we're going to be offering, basically the basic ratings are going to be for free. I think it's important to offer those ratings which will help empower people. So unlike the traditional ratings agencies that charge massive amounts of money to give privileged information to the banks that paid for it, we've actually turned that model on its head, and we're offering the information for free to most users. And then for the premium subscription products, yes, we'll charge for those and monetize.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah. So very pleased. It's been well thought out. We had
Congratulations.
Thank you. We had all the tokenomics done by a company called Hacken, who are actually, I think, #2 token security company in the world. So again, we wanted to get reputable sign-offs for everything we'd done regarding the EVAI token. So I think there's a lot of positives out there. And as I say, it's just all about marketing, getting the word out there now. So very exciting times.
It really is.
And I'm jumping around a lot, but you know what I'm like with the charts. We expected, as I say, we had this arrow on yesterday, expecting further downside for dollar index, precisely what we're seeing. You can see the price is now 101.
Yep.
It wasn't long ago we were 106.
105. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've got 106 here. Was in June 27th. So what, a month and a half ago, something like that. We were 106. We're now 101. And the likelihood is we're going to go lower because the outlook for interest rates in the US is downward. Because of these unemployment figures that are ticking up, the Fed are a little bit worried. So as I say, they are on a knife edge and they've got problems because they can't really reduce rates. I don't know whether a quarter point reduction would make any difference to the economy at all, but I think they're going to make that reduction come September. And that's why the dollar's effectively in free fall at the moment. 106, 10, it's fallen 5% in a month. I mean, that is pretty serious when you think about
it. In big currency terms, that's like you're dying.
Yeah, it is a very, very substantial move. And we saw, it all began, I suppose, with the unwind of the yen carry trade. And basically when the yen, the Japanese increased interest rates, whereas America are looking to reduce interest rates. So when they're going in opposite directions with interest rates, then clearly money comes back into the yen and out of the dollar. And that's another reason that we're seeing a fall off in the value of the dollar. So the dollar is falling very, very quickly, and I think it's got further to fall. And this will have ramifications to the US economy eventually. And action will need to be taken, but they're trying their best to keep a level, an even keel, I guess, until the election. Yeah.
I mean, look at the price of oil too. I mean, the price of oil is it's almost like $70. I mean, it should be a lot less in my opinion, but it's they're keeping those prices down. And like I said yesterday, I think they're also, even though there are bombs flying, they're going to try to stay out of a major war, which is going to be good for the markets too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if it can be helped.
Yeah.
But just looking at gold here, we reached that all-time high. We just got a little bit of a pullback. It actually coincided with, and it doesn't show on this particular time frame. Maybe it was on the daily. Yeah, on the daily, we can see we got some regular bearish divergence. So we're always talking about this signal. It's very, very important to learn, to understand it and to learn it. So it doesn't show on that time scale. I don't know which time scale it was on that it showed, but we had some divergence, some regular divergence. Let's see, maybe if we took it back to, let's see. Yeah, that's it. We've got divergence there. So it's a very, very powerful signal, and what it's important to understand it because it often signals when prices are going to turn around. So you can see very, very clearly here now, we have higher highs on the price of gold, and we had lower highs on the corresponding RSI. And you have to line these up perfectly, as I said. So this has to line up with this, and this has to line up with this. And that's what's called divergence. So you're getting different directions in price peaks compared with RSI. But this is a powerful signal. So you can see exactly when you needed to sell this. And actually we had divergences along the way. So we also had a divergence from this peak here. So you can see, again, higher highs and higher lows. So at these peaks, we had divergences at every peak, in fact. And these are all signals to sell gold. So whilst long term, I'm a buyer of gold, I'm a holder of gold, and it's a important part of the portfolio. If you're a shorter term trader, you know exactly when to be selling, because this is a perfect indicator as far as I'm concerned. It's worked beautifully with gold to date, hasn't it?
Yeah. It normally does. These things are, like we said, the timing is what is really hard to tell. But as far as what the chart's going to do, it's like, I mean,
this one actually even gives you timing, to be fair. So Elliott Wave doesn't give you timing, but this is one of the few indicators which is actually quite time specific. So you can see, for example, at this very point here, we had divergence. So if I just do a shorter term one, I just put the short divergences on. So from the top to here, again, we can see basically increase in price and reduction in RSI. That was telling you there's going to be a downturn in price from here, from this very point. There was no time variability there. It told you this was the point. So the moment you see a closing red candle, you could sell it here. That's the confirmation. So you get the signal, divergence signal. You wait for a candle formation, which tells you it's going to be bearish, and you sell. And you can basically sell all the way down there. The next divergence we got was, once again, very, very neat to this point here. And again, so we got higher highs on price and we got lower highs on RSI, and this was the point, the precise point where you'd want to sell. You got this red candle in here, you'd sell here, and you can see substantial downside again. And it's not just about bearish divergences. You can look for bullish and hidden bullish. There are other divergences that tell you of upside to come. So these, I'm just focusing on the downside signals here. I don't want to complicate matters too much, but there are upside signals which actually tell you when to buy on the upside as well. So it's a very, very good timing signal. Now, I wouldn't use it just by itself. As I say, just now, I'm saying I would use it with candlestick formations, but I also use it in other important indicators as well to give me confirmation. One indicator alone is not usually good enough to make me, to give me the decision to buy or sell. And that's why, even with EVAI, I don't use it as a standalone. I'll use it as a tool to help, and I'll use other technical analysis tools. I'll use EVAI to do all the heavy lifting for me, as it were, to narrow down which tokens I should be interested in. But I still won't do a move. I won't lift a finger until I can actually do my DD on those tokens and say, okay, should I buy it? Should I sell it? But EVAI has narrowed it down from 1,000 tokens to maybe half a dozen tokens that I can do my research on and focus my research and make those decisions. So again, we need to spend more time at some time on exactly how to use the EVAI tool and how to use trading tools to ensure that you can make profits out of these markets. So hopefully that's given a little bit of a flavor today.
Yes.
Again, you know, the market, just to summarize as we usually do, market is relatively flat. Actually, we've got some upside moves today. ICP is actually one of our favorite tokens, is actually nicely positive, up 2%. But in general, the market's pretty well flat. Even, you know, Doge is at 1.3%, Shiba up 0.59%, Toncoin, your favorite, up 0.83%. So the market's generally flat to slightly higher. Solana is virtually flat, but still slightly in profit for me. So in general, the market's looking stable, probably still in corrective mode a little bit, but I think we're just waiting for a big bounce in the markets. And don't forget, we've got news tonight out of the, we've got FOMC minutes released tonight, haven't we? That will probably tell us a little bit more about the Fed's thinking about the economy and about interest rates. We'll see how that affects the US dollar and risk assets, S&P 500, etc. And then on Friday, we've got Fed Chair Powell speaking. That's going to be quite important. Again, giving us an idea or informing us of his thinking on where we are with the US economy in particular. And bearing in mind the US economy is effectively the driver of the world, the financial world, then it's important that we take note. And tonight and Friday are important events that we should take note of and listen to. Hopefully help us with not just the cryptos, but as you know, you can see beautifully here, we got absolutely beautiful signal here. Again, we got some divergence in place here. I'll just draw this one in finally. So we got basically a move up in prices to here. So this is telling you the opposite. We showed you before bearish divergence is telling us a downside. This one is actually
SPX. This is the stocks S&P 500, guys.
Yeah, and this one is a signal. It doesn't matter that it's not a steep fall here. We can see a reduction in the RSI trough, and we can see an appreciation in the actual price itself, the trough of the price itself. So this is what's called hidden bullish divergence. And as I said, Bruce, it told us of downsides when we're looking at bearish divergences. Here we have a type of bullish divergence, and it told you on the button. So when you think about time, this told you on the dot exactly when to be buying the S&P 500. and just look at what happened to the price. Absolutely massive appreciation there. And
Massive.
then we coincide that. Sorry, we've got to move on, yeah?
Massive appreciation. Absolutely.
Oh, okay, good. And we actually had just at the top here, we can actually see there's actually some bearish divergence. So we got a sell at the top, and we got an absolute on the nose when to buy it back. So you could sell it here, buy it here, using divergences, but also using Elliott wave. We had a perfect ABC wave down, which is corrective. It told us new all-time highs to come. So we can combine all these things in a perfectly logical way to make our trade decisions, and it's just absolutely fantastic. It's, you know, I find it really exciting, and I love telling people about it, and I hope you've enjoyed listening. So it's been my pleasure.
Awesome. Well, Matt, thanks so much joining from Albania. You're a gentleman and a scholar and a movie and a TV star.
Yeah, I look forward to sharing some of that with you tomorrow. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.
Cheers. The great Matt Dixon joining from Albania. It doesn't matter. It's one of the great things about these days, right? It doesn't matter where you are. I was on vacation last week at the beach, still did the show every morning. It is a great pleasure to do the show. I enjoy it a lot. I know Matt enjoys it a lot. It is a lot of fun to share the knowledge that we have and the strategies that we're using in order to really change our lives and change a lot of people's lives around it. When you look at something like EVAI and what they're doing with EVAI right now, they're going to change more than likely a lot of people's lives. They have the capacity. There is the potential to change a lot of people's lives. And so that stuff is really cool. That's really cool. And that makes doing the show a lot of fun, even though it's early for me. Although I've gotten pretty used to waking up at 5 a.m. now. My wife says, well, you could do the show later. I say, yeah, I kind of like it. It's before the markets start here in the US. It's still early in Europe, and it's not that late over in the Middle East. And of course, the day's kind of over in Asia, but it's still not over. And so I kind of do like the time, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time here in the swamp, Washington, D.C. Of course, on TV in Texas at 5 a.m. But and 12 noon, we or 11 a.m. actually local time. We usually replay the show at 11 a.m. so you can catch it right then, or we do another show. It depends on how we run that. I have invited Don Baruda, my main man Don, over. Let's see here. MD Trade Coin Store EVAI. Yep. Okay, these are messages from earlier. Make sure to follow Matt Dixon at MD Trade. Matt Dixon as an MD Trade. I have on X at least, I have added the link to join the coin store. Make sure you join the coin store. And EVAI, it's EVAI.io. EVAI.io is the I think I have a banner all set for them. Let me see here. EVAI trades under EVAI. There you go. I'll tell you what. Let me just doctor this one up a little bit. EVAI.io launches on coinstore.com. There we go. Boom. EVAI.io launches at coinstore.com. I did put a referral link if you do want to join. Use the referral link, or you don't have to. And guys, he told us that you get the basic EVAI platform for free if you're part. And the EVAI contract is right here. The Stoic just shared that. I should probably confirm that before I pop it up on the screen. I should probably confirm that. Is that the right contract, Matt? Is that the right one? Looks like Matt's checking for me. EVAI contract. Let me just check. Before I do it, let me just check here. Dex screener. We are live, guys. We're live. This is live TV, and we are in, as they say, uncharted territory. No, we're not in uncharted territory, but I want to make sure I put up the right contract address. Here we go. I'm just checking here. Boom. Over to my Dex screener. So I actually think that contract is for the, you want the contract for the Solana edition of this. That's what you really want here. And that contract, I'll put it right up here. EVAI contract address, just so there's no confusion. EVAI contract address. Boom. Since I popped it up there. It is a good point. You don't need the contract address for CoinStore. You just get on there. They have, obviously, they have the right, but this is the correct contract address if you are looking for the contract address. They're going to list on Radium Soldex in a day or two, and that is going to be pretty interesting as well. Okay, so boom, got it. Okay, so yeah, that's the contract address. It's not showing on the Dex yet, but if you do want it, since I put up the other one, I wanted to make sure I put up this one. Okay, so I'll take that down for now. They're listing on Radium as well. CoinStore though, go over to coinstore.com. Okay, I'll have a an easy referral link, but if you want a referral link now, just go under my post on X and you will see it there. EVAI.io on coinstore.com. And then you get ratings AI crypto ratings free with once you join. All right, pop that up here. Boom, 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 boom. Here we are. Thanks. And this is the CoinStore to the market as well. Just loading that. You can see here. I'll just share my screen. Share screen. Crypto's fun, guys. It's fun. It's fun. I mean, it really is a lot of fun. So here we go. This is on the daily. We go to like the 4 hour here. There you go. Boom, boom. And now here we push up as we have more and more people entering the market. Nice, healthy. Well, I mean, you guys know, Matt is one of the most professional traders I have ever known. And so that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. The Stoic here, not sure when they will have bridge. The stoic. I'm not sure when they're going to have a bridge for that, or if there already is one. On the hour, they're beginning to push higher. Yes, they are. Let me just toggle to the hour chart there. Yep. 30 minutes was actually nicer, which I shared. So EVAI crypto ratings platform, atomic bridge under construction. Okay, great. That is important information there. My man, Don. All right. Thank you, sir. The stoic. Atomic bridge is under construction. Atomic bridge for the BNB to Sol chain back and forth is under construction. Okay. There you go. Good moves there. Good moves there, guys, between BSC and Sol. So it will be multi-chain. Matt's just confirming in the private chat. So it will be multi-chain, which of course is also great. You get to hop into the liquidity of all those different markets. BNB, I expect, as our friend is released from jail, BNB is going to go through the roof. I think it's going to go through the roof. My man CZ and I go way back. No, we're not like close friends or anything. We did do some stuff together. Noted. Perfect. Thank you again. Thank you, brother. Absolutely. I was worried there for a minute. Oh shoot. But we'll have the bridge on there. And that's a very normal thing. You want to be able to go in and out. You know, I'm sure already. You have Bitcoin on all these different networks. You have all these different assets on different networks. So cool stuff. Well, that's that. I guess it's been an awesome show. It's been a great morning. I'm looking over at my my other screen here, and I mean, man, the markets are just looking great. They really are. If you've been trading our signals, and I'm contracting some guys I was trying to build the Impact Money Show website myself, our membership site that we've talked so much about. We haven't talked so much about it, but Matt and I have decided to put together. And cheers, Matt. Got it, brother. But I'm contracting some guys to build it for us. So I'm pretty happy about that because I was trying to build it myself. And it's just too much time. I used to build all kinds of websites, but, I don't have time. It doesn't look like I want it to look. So I'm contracting some guys to put it together. And pretty excited about that because I want, I know some of you guys are trading with us, but some of you aren't. And you see the moves and you see what you can do. But you don't know how to do it, or you're not confident about how to do it. And so that site and that membership is going to do a lot, I think, for all of us. So one of the ones that I'm sure that you kind of wished you bought the dip on is my friends over here. Let me just change this one up here. Is the polka gold. The polka gold is moving, and Dalgo is moving more. We shouldn't say more. Big time, I'll say. Big time. There we go. I woke up this morning. I talked about it at the beginning of the show. I woke up this morning. I looked at my stuff as I normally look at it. I said, "Oh, look at that!" Because I've been going. I'm long on these things. I really believe the polka gold, and the Dalgo, their meme coin. These things are going big. You can get into an asset like this And you can get into an asset like this, and you can buy a considerable amount of the total supply. And then when these things go to 10 million, when they go to 20 million, when they go to 50 million, 100 million, or even 1 million, like Dalgo is, I think it's like $250,000 or something right now. It was like 180 yesterday. Those are big moves, guys. Those are big moves. Those are big moves. So I have with me here Mr. Don Baruda, my brother from another mother.
How you doing?
Awesome, man. Good to see you.
Salutations to you and the Impact Money Show. Thank you for having me.
Man. I'll tell you what, I was really happy this morning waking up. I know a lot of our listeners or watchers were too, the ones that moved on this asset. I talk about it every day. I'm sure you were happy too.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You know, we had a bit of a retracement, I would say, earlier the month. Well, you know how the markets go.
Yes.
But you know, with all this locked liquidity, you know, scooped up, I want to say within a day or two, right? So
every dip, and you know the thing is, they're both such attractive assets. So just to break it down a little bit for everybody, I know I talk about it, so you probably know, but Polka Gold was started by Polkadot and Algorand Wells, and they just locked a bunch of Algorand in liquidity and launched on there, and everybody had to buy. But so it has a base. Algorand, I think we can all agree, has been across the bottom now. They are now going back there. I think at around 8 cents was their bottom. So at 16 cents, they've doubled from there. And if you can imagine, like Bitcoin has already tripled and quadrupled, right, from the bottom. So that's where we're looking at. All-time high for Algorand is 327. We're at like 13 cents or something like that right now. So there's a lot of room for that to go. And then they launched their Dalgo meme coin in the same way, locking the liquidity. I looked last night. I mean, there was like, well, I've been saying they locked over 1% of the supply, and I know it's all not locked at this point, but you know, there's over 1.5 million Polka Gold there in the liquidity pools of Dalgo, and there's only 10 million Polka Gold. So this thing is just set to run. The Dalgo is especially just because it's such a low market cap. This is like, you know, you're going woo like this, you know what I mean? But both of them are just, it's like this feeding frenzy on both of them once it starts.
What that's the thing, you know, I in my opinion, it's like, I don't want to say there's a bit of a supply shock, but it kind of feels like that, you know?
Yes.
In regards to, you know, all the locked liquidity, to your point, you know, that 10%, that was just in Dalgo. And it's, you know, around 1.5 million P gold. But to top it all off, I mean, you know, over 60% of just locked liquidity just for Polka Gold itself.
Yes.
You know? So it's like
so talk about, so there's over 60%. I think as I was looking last night, 67% is like locked type burned, or what's the difference kind of?
So burn, so we say burn, but it's actually locked. So if you look at Vestige, right, on vestige.fi, it states the difference. So most projects, when they say token burn, they burn like, you know, X amount of coins forever, right, to make it scarce. So this locked liquidity, or this locked portion of P gold, is locked away forever. So what does that mean, right, in these vaults specific to this asset? Is it is locked away forever, meaning whoever started this project, right, they can never go back in and retrace those funds. Never.
Right.
You know? So that's why we say burned, just to, I guess, you know, without going in further explanation for the masses, right? But the proper terminology is it is locked. So if you look on Vestige, you know, .fi, I don't know if you have it on there, but if you
I
look,
do, I can pull it up here. I was just actually scrolling through the Vestige. Let me share the screen here as we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so you know, it's locked. That's locked away forever, right? That percentage. So in theory, right, as long as there is an Algorand, right, behind Polka Gold, it will have value. The same is to be said about the USDC. The same is to be said about the Euro stable coin behind it as well. So,
so this is the daily. So if I bring this down to, let's say, the hourly, let's look at the hourly. I mean, let's look at this. So right now, market cap of 864,000. We're going to be back up, I know, above a million very shortly. But I think you wanted to talk about this locked liquidity. You can look here. So $864,000 market cap. We have 400,000, over 400,000 in liquidity locked in the P Gold Algo, and over nearly 300,000 in the Dalgo P Gold. So that right there is what, 700,000. So, and then you have, the different USDC, there's euros locked, there's, so basically you're looking at assets, both of them. Dalgo actually has a higher liquidity locked than the market cap. It might have changed overnight, I'm not sure. But P Gold, it has, the liquidity is as much as the market cap right now. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's a bit, I would say, remarkable. That's
it's
why
remarkable. It's a better word.
It's Dalgo. I mean, it's an anomaly in and of itself. It's the most liquid meme coin to date.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the most liquid meme coin. And actually, what was happening as well on over the you guys everything was trending, or P Gold and Dalgo. And
so the apart from trending, sorry to cut you off, Bruce, but apart from trending on Vestige and Tiny Man, actually the big trending is actually on Dex Screener. So
that's what I meant.
Yeah. So on Dex Screener,
actually, let me share that screen. Look at this. Just look right up top here. So this is Dex Screener.
Yeah.
And here we go, guys, right here. Dalgo, P Gold, and Algo right here. 1, 2, 3.
Dalgo's number one.
Dalgo's number one.
Yeah. To
the moon.
To the moon. Dalgo Nation, Dalgo Nuts. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty remarkable, how I never would have thought, Dalgo would have outpaced P Gold in this regard in terms of ranking. Yeah, I mean, just because it's so tiny. I mean, look at the market cap, Bruce. What do we say Dalgo is at? 280?
It's like $250,000. 216 is what it's saying over here.
But the lock liquidity is more than the market.
Yes, the lock liquidity is more. It might not show it. So 280 in liquidity, 260
in P Gold. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm confused myself. That's why I was like,
well, here's the thing. What I can tell you, what's going to happen is as this thing goes into centralized exchanges, it's just going to go like this. It's like, and that's one of the reasons.
There's no other way, I want to say around it,
Right.
And it's like P Gold, I've been watching this thing since it started back in November, and to see it, I want to say around, mid-November when it was hovering around a penny and a half, and then to see it double, stay more or less, I want to say around the 3 cent mark for about a week, and then just shoot up. And, obviously people buy and sell, but it's held steady.
People take profits.
Of course.
It's part of the deal. I can't tell you the number of guys. Oh, people are selling. Well, look, that's what you want. Okay. People buy and sell.
For sure. But here's the thing, in my humble opinion, even with P Gold, I don't mind that there's a redistribution of P Gold.
Exactly.
It's a scarce asset, right? It's a scarce asset. And, touching upon our first interview, if you recall, I shared with you when this project first came out, there was a big whale, right?
Yep.
And this guy had over, he had like 6 million P Gold. We're talking about over,
like, holy smokes.
Yeah, he got in at like 0.000 whatever it was.
And it changed his life.
Yeah, he could have, but long story short, he was swing trading it, which I'm glad he was, right? And I'm not trying to throw jabs at anybody, Bruce. I'm just sharing with you my outlook.
Right.
You know, he got priced out at the end of the day, right? You know, even at the prices that we're at today, which is, I mean, you know, it's tiny, right? He got priced out, you know, so that's why I say it's good in the sense of a redistribution, you know. That's the beauty of P Gold, because once again, there's no central entity, you know, it's fair market, it's fair market value.
I mean, yeah, it's such a clever way, and it's you know, I don't know if I might have told you, but back in the day, there was a point when Bitcoin was like $70 or $90 or something, and I had a lot of them, and I thought to myself, but there weren't really DEXs back then. But I thought to myself,
oh, it was super difficult. You also had to be, sorry to cut you off, you had to be tech savvy, you know, back then. Yeah.
Right. Well, the thing was, I thought to myself, well, let me just put a bunch of these Bitcoins. I think Bitcoin's going to go to the moon. So let me just put a bunch of these Bitcoins on the exchange. And then as the price goes up of the asset that I was working with, which was, you know, mine that they built way back when, then everything will go up. But we didn't have this DEX structure. And I didn't want to stick my Bitcoins on a centralized exchange. Probably smart, because almost every, I would say every centralized exchange that existed back then is gone. Yeah. So I would have lost my Bitcoins. So I was right. But that structure of locking the liquidity in there on an asset that's going to go to the moon is, I mean, this is a winning plan.
Yeah. I mean, it's, you know, ingenious, right?
It is.
But I tell
you, they stayed anonymous, which is like half the battle. It really is.
Yeah, no, for sure. You know, and it's like, the thing is, I don't know, there's so much beauty, I want to say, in simplicity, you know? Unfortunately or fortunately, you know, like with everything, it's met with scrutiny. And, you know, I'm the type of person, I accept that, right? You know, I like open debate, you know? Yeah. And I tell you, with this project, you know, there is, I want to say, a little bit of hesitation, you know, just because of the name per se. But it's like, if you read the white paper, if you take 2 minutes to read the white paper, it explains exactly the whole premise of the project. You know, it's not trying to overshadow any, you know, other chain or project out there.
Well, that's you know, the white paper is always very hard to read for people. So one trick that I have for reading the white paper is I worked with the blind a lot over the years, and I don't know, really? you can go to accessibility on your phone, and you can turn on, you know, read to me, and you can set the speed. And so if you want to read something like a white paper that's like 50 pages long or something, then you just take your phone and you highlight it, and then it pops up and you say read, and it blah, 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 blah. So that's a trick. And that's how I read all the white papers. I don't read those darn things. I listen to them, and I listen to them really fast, and you're actually able to retain the information. It's really, really interesting. I saw my blind guys, and man, they're like pros at it. It's like, blah, 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 and I'm like,
yeah, and it's at like 2.0 speed, right?
Yeah, like no, like 10.0 speed.
10.0. Oh wow. Yeah.
No, it's like like,
yeah.
Yeah. So, but anyway, if you read the white paper, yeah, I mean, it's great. It's great community as well. You know,
another thing too, I tell you, Bruce, another thing that's not really spoken about, you know, obviously, you know, and you've told, you know, the community, it's built on Algorand, you know, yes. Algorand in and of itself, I mean, it's, you know, zero downtime, instant finality, right?
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. But another thing, you know, that really is, you know, I would say beyond amazing when it comes just to Algorand, you know, PokerGold being built on Algorand, is, you know, the founder, Silvio Macaulay, he was one of the founders back in 1985 of ZK Snarks. So, you know, zero proof knowledge.
Yes. MIT grad. I mean, we're talking, this guy is a brain. And as I always say, not the usual cabal dudes that are behind everything else.
Yeah. You know, and it's like, what can I say? I mean, Algorand, you know, it's like they're doing an amazing job, right? Across the board, you know, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just everything clicks, you know. If you could read the writing on the wall, as they say, you know, everything clicks. And another thing too, you know, as you were touching upon earlier with Matt, you know, with everything going on, in our economy, global economy, geopolitical, everything, hard assets, most people don't own them. The average, what is it, Bruce? The average American doesn't even have like $1,000 just in case they get into an emergency.
Well, and the thing is, you probably shouldn't have much money in the bank anyway, because it's a losing proposition. But you should have it in crypto.
The FDIC is not really.
FDIC has literally. I was at a bankers convention, believe it or not, and they had 1.5% of all of the of what they were insuring. But then after they bailed everyone out like a year ago, or bailed out a number of banks, now they have less than that. They literally have 0.7% of all of the deposits that they are supposed to be insuring. 0.7.
Yeah.
Not even 1%.
Yeah, it's unfathomable. I mean, another thing people don't talk about, it's like, let's say tomorrow you want to go buy a car in cash. Let's say the car is like $8,000. You go to the bank, you tell them I want to withdraw $8,000 out of my bank account. They're going to ask you, why do you need this money? What are you going to go do with it?
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And it's like, people overlook this fact. I mean, so much of our lives, right, for the good, I would say, technology wise has, been elevated, right? Except for the legacy systems in many regards.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it doesn't get any better than this, not at this stage in humanity.
I know.
It's just like, it's the great equalizer across the board,
Well, and that's what we were talking about around the world, for years. And that is that, this is the wealth transfer. Okay. This is it. I mean, just the fact that you're able to own something.
Yeah.
Like literally, if like I own my house and I don't have a mortgage, but if I don't pay my taxes on the house, they take my house.
Yeah.
And the taxes are ridiculous.
Oh yeah. And they only go up here.
And they're only going to go up.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you really own at the end of the day?
Like, exactly. I own my crypto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Well, that's why I say, like touching upon, our first meetup, what do I value? What do most people value is freedom, It's like, it doesn't get freer than that. Not that I know of.
It doesn't. And it's interesting now, of course, we have our friend, of course, Trump is, and I don't care which aisle you fall on, really, but the point is that now that he has come out really in favor of crypto, he's kind of gotten it, he understands it a bit more, I think. That has as well brought a lot more eyes to it. But a lot of these people, they still haven't entered the market. They haven't entered the market yet. And guys, it's like I say every morning, I like for you to have a good way in, and I like for you to have a good way out too. And so if you haven't bought yet, if you haven't entered the market, Polka Gold is a good one. Not financial advice. These are highly special. These are highly what's the word I want to type?
Volatile assets.
Yes, all this stuff. Yeah.
Not financial advice, as always, do your own research, but touching upon what Bruce and Matt were talking about, ever since fiat currency, we've been off the gold standard, right? Yeah. And all that. I mean, forget about the value of the dollar or the euro or whatever. If we're just going to use an example, let's look at the quality of life we all have collectively, right? And let's just compare that to our parents. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, right? Let's just compare it to our parents. Are we living a better life than our parents? Most of us are not. Right. Why is that? It touches upon very simple principles that, most people make sound, they make it sound like it's more out of your scope or difficult than it should be. But it boils down to this: the debasement of our currency, inflation. So we
the
have
central bankers, guys. The central bank is in control of our countries, and this is our way to fight back peacefully. We can fight back peacefully. There hasn't been a shot fired. This monetary revolution, I talk about it around the world, it has been going on for over a decade. It took the governments of the world 5 years to even figure out what was going on. I'm surprised that the banks have even been able to stay in business this long. I thought everything was going to crash way before, but that was even really before I realized how much of a crooked scam this was, because there's so many ways that the central bank can take your money. They can take it by diluting you. They can take it with the interest rates. They take it with the market making. The markets, they're the biggest market maker out there. When you see them crash the markets, a lot of the times that's just them removing the dollars that they printed up from the markets. They crash the markets, they buy it back, and they take all that money in between. And if you don't understand how that works, ask the traders if they have the money anymore. They'll tell you, no, I don't have it.
Well, that's like they say, the smart traders, they make money, when it goes up and when it goes down. To your point, they're always making the money.
Right.
But at least
and they see everything. The central bankers, and they have an endless supply of cash. So I'm sick of being ruled. I talk about it. I am sick of being ruled. And it's
I'm with you. That's what I say, to your point, a way to peacefully resist, all of this is, to take this stance. It's also to educate yourself. It took me about, I don't want to exaggerate to you, it took me around 5 years to understand the concept of digital currency, decentralization, right? And, I never looked back, and I'm not going to, why would I,
Right.
It's like, it's like I said the other day, it's either you get with this technology or you get left behind. History may not repeat itself, but it most definitely rhymes,
Right.
And, at least with this, it's sound money.
It's sound money.
Yeah.
It's sound money. And if you believe the rest of the, and Algo too, it was really great to see that move. I was in the chat. I told you guys, Algo looks like it's about to go. And sure enough, a 5% move, guys, if you're leverage trading, okay, even if you just 2x, okay, and you do a 2x leverage, a 5% move is 10%. Okay, so just so everybody kind of, understands that, I know that we're traded on CoinStore as well. CoinStore, CoinStore also has P Gold. Doesn't have Dalgo yet, but we're traded on there as well. And I know there's some talk about getting some leverage trading there. I think it would be a lot of fun. But the place with the most liquidity is the DEXs right now. That's where you really want to go to buy a decent amount. I mean, you just want.
And another thing, even with the DEX, specifically, most people in the space, they use Tinyman, right? If you were on Tinyman, right, just to give everybody some context, they just airdropped, if you were using their platform, their coin that just came out, Tiny. So if you were buying P Gold or buying whatever on that platform, you would have got airdropped some Tiny. And it just came out, and it was just listed, I believe, a day or two ago on MXC. So it's like, Algorand is, it's making big moves,
It is. And I really, like I said, it's not the same cabal behind it. So it's an interesting play. Of course, my wife is Italian. So we were actually just over there. Her family, her father is still back and forth. It's like 6 months there, 6 months back. They have some.
That's living. Sorry to cut you off. 6 months there, 6 months here. Yeah. That's the good life.
It is the good life. I agree. She's always like, oh. I'm like, oh, whatever, dude. And they
this is a sign, Bruce.
I know. It is a sign. Well, we spent a couple of weeks there. We had a European vacation this year. Went to Paris, and we went to see our family there. They're in Venice area.
Oh, love.
Yeah, it's great. But we're like, I can't believe that we haven't been doing this. You know what I mean? Like, it's like going to Vegas. I mean, it's an hour or two longer than going to Vegas. You know what I mean? You fly into to Venice or Milan. Milan's a little further away, but you just fly right into the Venice. And we have this huge family over there. My youngest daughter was hilarious. She goes, "Well, Dad, what are we doing?" And I said, "Well, we're going to go see your 10 cousins in Italy." She says, she's a snip, dude. She's a pip. She looks at me. She says, "I have 10 cousins in Italy and you never told me?" And it was like, you know what? She's right. Like, we have this family over there, and never again. I mean, we're gonna go over there every year. It's important to stay.
Well, you know how it is. Everyone's busy with school, work, just sheer responsibilities. Sometimes, we all want to have that breath of fresh air. It's just sometimes, things come up. That's so things come up. We have plans, and then, whatever happens. I can't tell you how many trips I had, paid the tickets and everything, and then something came up and I had to just cancel.
I know.
So it's like, but it is a breath of fresh air.
It is. It's great. In Europe, I love Europe. I really do. I love Europe in general. So now pretty cool. So I think, one of the main things is we did have a nice move today, but you see us trending there with Polka Gold and Dalgo trending on Dex Tools. That's going to bring more people in. More people are going to see it.
On Dex. No, not Dex. It was Dex Screener.
You're right. Dex.
Yeah, Dex Screener. That's that platform most people use when they look up coins, especially the new coins and the meme coins. So that's something to rave about. And it's so the market cap once again. I mean, it's $216,000.
With 250,000 in liquidity.
No, 280,000 in liquidity.
280,000 in liquidity.
But it's so, I mean, it's so small, but it has so much potential.
You're right. I'm going to share this tab again just so we see that. It's just right.
Yeah. Like, it's just crazy that it's number one. I can't believe it's above P Gold, and on Dex Screener. I'm still.
Well, I have the Dex Screener pulled up too, but I just had this right here. Right here, 282. This is total value locked, and so they have, of course, that's the Dalgo P Gold pairing right there, and then the Dalgo Algo 6,700. So nearly 300,000.
Yeah,
locked.
Mind you, it's because that nice uptick we've had in P Gold itself in the last 24 hours.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. The two are married.
Oh yeah. Because
Dalgo is the marketing branch.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. In the last 24 hours, it went up the market cap probably around $120,000, less than 24 hours. So, it's a major jump, but what stands out to me is how it holds steady. There's not these major dips. When you look at other projects, right? I mean, it's just the charts, they align.
Yeah.
There's not this huge divergence. I mean, look at that. Like, it's slow and steady, and then
boom.
Yeah. So it's like you can't really ask for more, I would say, in terms of the chart pattern there. Yeah. But I want you to look real quick, since you're on the vestige or P Gold. If you click on the vault right down there to the right. Yeah. So that's what, I want the audience, to take a good look at, just to understand. So when it says the total supply burned, that's what's locked, right? That 60% right there.
68 total liquidity burned. Yep.
Yeah.
68.9%. Wow.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I just say 60 because I got so used to saying 60. I don't know, however months ago it was, but yeah, 68.9%. But if you look, Bruce, what I want you also to focus on is look how much P Gold that is. That's 3 million P Gold. out of 10 million coins. You know, we're talking about 30% of the coins. So like, just to give you a point of reference, Bruce, what I want the audience to understand is, like, for example, let's say Polka Gold reaches a $10 million market cap, right? Just hypothetical. Right. That means,
I mean, that's not very hypothetical. That will happen.
I'm just, you know, I just want to throw a number out there, an easy number for, you know, for everyone to digest. But yeah. That means that total liquidity burned will be $3 million.
Yep.
Because of, you know, right there.
Yeah.
So, okay, for fun, let's say, you know, we reach $100 million market cap. That means that's $30 million. That's the new baseline, as they like to say. And, you know, for fun, once again, $1 billion, that's $300 million. I mean, this is why I call it the honey badger, you know, of cryptocurrency. It can't, you know.
Yeah.
It's not
well,
going
and to let everybody know, Don was the guy. Don was the guy. He was on during the show. You got to look at P Gold. You got to look at P Gold. Look at Polka Gold.
Yeah.
And finally, I saw it. I at least 8 times.
Yeah.
Finally, I was like, okay, what is going on with this Polka Gold?
I know I was bothering you a lot, but I was like, you know what? I didn't want to be that person. I didn't want to be that person, Bruce, because I know in the crypto space they're all out there. But you know, I can't lie. I'm very passionate about this project just because honestly, it really stood out to me.
Yeah.
You know, just because of this, you know, lock liquidity. I have not personally seen, you know, anything else out there that had something like this. But another thing as time went on is, like I said, you know, you look at the chart, like it holds steady.
Yeah.
You know, it's pretty remarkable. You know, so it's like, yeah, you know, I'm in it. That's all I have to say.
Dude, you're not in it. You're like leading the way. You're like, I remember back in the day, I don't know if you knew, well, Charlie Lee was a friend of mine. Charlie Lee, the founder of Litecoin. But then he had his buddy there who was also a friend of mine. John Kim. And everybody's like they were related, but they weren't really related, but whatever. John Kim was like, he was the ambassador. I mean, this guy, he went around, it was Litecoin. He like wrapped his car in Litecoin. He came here, we did like a skit in the national, anyway, I shouldn't say exactly, but anyway, we did an ice skating skit and everything else. And it was a lot of fun. But you are that guy. Of Polka Gold and Dalgo, and I can tell you, man, he made a lot of money. Yeah.
No, I believe it. You know, I tell you, honestly, you know, with the Polka Gold community, honestly, everyone, you know, does their part. I mean, you're in the group, you know, you see in the Telegram. But, you know, me, it's just like I said, it's just, I can't stop talking about it. You know, all my friends, my family, you know, I share with them the videos. I'm like, look, just look at this. You know, I'm even studying. I got my professors looking at it. I sent our first video to a couple of my professors. They watched it all. I'm gonna tell you a quick funny story, Bruce. One of my professors was like, "How do you go on?" Look, Bruce. He was like this. He was like, "How do you go on an interview and you don't check your internet connection? What is wrong with you?" I was like, it was working fine until I got on. He's like,
it is.
I was like, dude, don't remind me. I was like, I'm not trying to be a meme, but whatever. It's okay. I was like, Bruce is a great guy. You know, he's a true.
It worked.
Made it happen.
I was glad that I had enough experience to just say, hey, switch, because it did after that. Of course, it was it was at the point. We actually were able to pull it off with Matt today, but it was just okay. Like, you know what I mean? It was a little dicey with Matt. I don't know if you were watching earlier.
Well, sometimes I was on. But I tell you, I mean, it just went out like once. It wasn't bad. Mine was terrible because it was echoing. And I was like, after I watched it, I was like, oh man, this is bad. I was like,
yes.
I was like, well, Bruce and Eric know what I'm talking about with all my technical jargon. They know exactly what that means. I was like, but people are gonna be like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? But it's all good.
Well, it worked. It worked. And I'm glad you reached out and said, let's do it right now, because now is always good. Live is so authentic.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of live, and we can do some more stuff too. So, but we can talk about that. 4 p.m. is always a little rough for me too, though.
But no, we can go back on a live at another time. No big deal.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, very good, guys. We'll make sure to follow Don Baruta. He's at Don Baruta
at Twitter.
On X. He is. Oh, did I not say it right?
No. I mean, I get confused. It is X. You're right.
Oh, Twitter. Yeah, X.
Yeah.
I know. I still like Twitter.
Me too. That's why I'm like, it's hard to leave. And I'm from San Francisco, man. So Elon's gone, but I love Elon. But it's all good.
I know.
Office. It's all good though.
Yeah. So where are you now? Are you in San Francisco?
Yeah. I'm still in the Bay Area. But I'm just saying, their office left. They
yeah, I know. He left.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left.
Honestly, I don't blame him though. With everything.
Oh, me either, man. Listen, I love California. I love visiting and everything else, but I call it California.
Keyword visiting.
Yes.
Visiting is great. If my family and all wasn't rooted here, trust me, I'd be somewhere else. So I hear you. It's what are you gonna do, man? It's just terrible mismanagement. I have so many friends and colleagues that like move here. They're like, what is it's so beautiful, but what is going on? I'm like, poor management. They're like, why? I'm like, here's a term that I coined. I should probably have it copyrighted, but I'm gonna share it with you and the audience. Common sense is not that common.
Right.
That's the best way I can explain it.
It's bad. I used to go out there. I might have said it on the last one. I used to go out there all the time. I hit some clients out there during COVID, and it was
it was a ghost town.
Oh, it was crazy, man. So everything's closed, except the pot shops and the strip clubs. Well, I mean, what was I supposed to do?
Yeah, hey, man. I would have steered you to the pot shops, to be honest with you. The strip clubs would probably not.
No, I mean, really though, it was crazy. It was like everything was closed. You couldn't even have a cup of coffee. You had to go, and they even didn't let you have an outside seat at Starbucks. They had all the seats locked up. It was like some weird.
Oh no, they were just handing it to you outside of a window.
Yeah.
There was.
You had to sit on the curb.
Yeah.
Like a whatever. It was like, it was crazy. And then you go, my clients, of course, they knew all the spots. You could go eat at the strip club. You could do whatever. Yeah. Everything that you couldn't do everywhere else. There was no COVID in the strip clubs.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the pot shops were all open too. I mean,
what can we say? There's nepotism. They also enforce these, I forgot what they were called. You've seen the wooden places where in the middle of the street where people have to sit outside. So the restaurants, they had to build those.
Oh yeah. Everybody, dude, it was crazy.
It was just like a huge racket. I have a friend. Those things weren't cheap. He had to pay like $70,000, by the way, to build that thing. To be by code. And then they came back after a year and a half. They're like, oh, you have to take it down. He was like, I'm not taking this down. You guys made me spend all this money to stay in business. I'm leaving.
Right.
So it's like, now we have worse traffic because of it. Oh my God, dude.
Right. Because everything's built out onto the streets and stuff.
Yeah. So it's just it's just yeah. It's a mess.
It's California. I mean, it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's why
people are like, we're just going to cut off California. I'm like, no, it's so nice. You can't cut off California.
And it's crazy. It's like what, the 7th or 8th biggest GDP in the world. It could sustain the rest of the nation. Forget about the world, just by itself.
I know.
We have everything, but it's just poor.
It's a mess. It is a mess. And then and the elections are a mess too. I mean, they have those drop boxes everywhere.
What
I mean,
election? What election?
yeah, exactly. It's like the selection. Yeah. Well, the sad part is, I'll tell you what. I know that there's a lot of people who are excited to vote, but there's a lot of people who aren't excited to vote. Like,
well, so here's the thing. I have a lot of friends, who moved to this area a few years ago, right?
yeah.
And, not to speak politics or whatever, but they were like one train of thought, which is
Right.
most people, right? On
Yeah.
this side of the nation. But after living here for about a year, let me tell you, Bruce, the tune started to change. They're like, hold on, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
They're like, this doesn't add up. So it's true, but it's like, I don't know. I think here's the thing, like human nature, once again, until it starts to impact you, that's when you start feeling the burn. Right?
Burn. Yeah.
And it's like we're getting burned here, left and right. From every angle. It's a beautiful place. We have it all, with the industry, but at the same time, it's like people are taxed out.
Oh man, talking about taxes.
Not taxed like money wise. I'm just saying across the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, just taxed out in every regard.
Yeah.
So,
well, the way out of this, guys, is the peaceful monetary revolution. The monetary revolution, gold, Bitcoin, assets like Polka Gold, Dalgo. There's no clawback. There's no freeze, right? There's none of that stuff. So Polka Gold is like a Bitcoin. Dalgo, these things are built like Bitcoin. You own it. You own it. Get your keys, get your coins. You set up that Para wallet. You get your keys. Those are your coins.
Those are yours forever. You don't have to worry about some type of hack.
Yeah.
Some type of I don't SIM swap issue or whatever. It's yours. Just don't passphrase.
Don't lose the passphrase. Now, one thing that we didn't talk about is this absolutely unbelievable staking rewards with the P Gold right now. We're talking like 400% annual percentage rate.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We didn't touch upon that. So in Tiny Man, so via Pair Wallet, let's say you have P Gold, you can stake your you can farm. So right now there's 3 different farms you can farm with P Gold. The first one, you will be farming the tiny coin that I was just talking about. That Tiny Man they just released the other day. So that's the first coin you'll be farming with your P Gold. The second one will be Algorand via the governance, right? So that you'll have the governance reward. And then the third will be the Polka Gold liquidity pool reward. So you'll be mining, not mining. You'll be farming just from P Gold 3 different assets. So you'll get the coin.
So you need all 3 of those. So, and Don is kind of the expert here. You're kind of like the expert, right? Seems to me.
I wouldn't say expert.
Are you a farmer?
I'm a farmer, a staker, all that, both. There's also good rewards if you just want to stake on Cometa as well. If you just want to stake strictly just P Gold, there's I believe right now it's about 37%.
Wow.
So on your
and you can stake as well your Dalgo, right?
Dalgo as well. Yeah, I forgot to mention Dalgo on Cometa. It's about 14% right now. Nice. Yeah, so those are the 2 options. You have both of those options. Me personally, I'm conflicted between the farming and Cometa just because the farming, I mean, it's 3 different currencies. Right. From one. So it's like pretty amazing. And then Polka Gold,
amazing, right?
Yeah, and then Polka Gold itself, I mean, it's a scarce asset, So it's like can't get more than that. Is that the song?
This is the Dalgo Nation. Remember, so Dalgo, this is what I was saying kind of from the beginning. This is like the advertising branch of Polka Gold. Okay. Dalgo, as big as it's going to go, probably more than likely, Polka Gold's always going to have a larger market cap. And that is why I get to be so, I'm one of the reasons why I'm so bullish on the assets is because of that. Let me just a little bit there. There we go. Dalgo. Yeah, I don't want to play the sound because it'll take over our thing. No. But yeah, it's cool. Meme culture is cool. Meme culture is cool.
But here's the thing: this is a meme coin though, but you know, it has underlying utility. You know, most meme coins, they are cool. You know, don't get me wrong, they are cool. I'm all for the fun and the culture, but this one, you know, it also packs, I want to say, a punch. You know, comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about over 1 million P gold that's anchored to it.
I did, like I said when I looked last night. I'm going to look again. It was 1.5 something.
Yeah. So if you open up on Vestige again,
I'm here on Vestige now.
Yeah. So next to the chat, you click on right next to it, the vault. It'll show it right there.
Okay. I'm just getting the Dalgo. I did find it last night, but I don't want to move off my video I'm playing there. Anyway, it's over 1.5.
Yeah, over 1.5 million. But see, that's another thing too. I mean, about Vestige, it's like it's all right there. You know, like you know, big ethos is in crypto is don't trust, verify, and it's like you know, there you go. You know, but it's like that's why, you know, to your point, you know, you always have to, you know, read up and do your own research, but it's like it doesn't get more seamless than this, I would say.
Exactly. Read up, do your own research, all that good stuff. Make sure to watch the Impact Money Show.
Best
daily.
Show.
Don, you're the man. Thanks so much for coming on, brother.
I appreciate you, Bruce, and thank you for having this great decentralized platform. You know, news and media. It's so it's keeping us going. Keep up the good fight,
brother.
You take care. Fun. Salutations to everybody.
Cheers, brother.
Your voice is powerful. When combined with social engagement, it's a force for change. Decentralized media paired with free speech is the catalyst for an empowered world and a unified, invaluable ecosystem. Join Global Boost, become a champion of free speech, and help to reshape the future of media.